Okay, dear viewer, many thanks to you for being with us on your regular show on this platform on Naked Television, The Arena. And this is where we meet to take on burning topical issues and matters facing us as a people in the society. Yes, today, our searchlight is beaming on the health and medical, angle. I don't know how much you know about the killer, cancer. But then we are going to be centering our discussion today on breast and then a bit of cervical cancer. We just want to create awareness around it because this is the month of October where the world has set aside for the entire globe, to take into consideration issues, concerns around breast cancer, cervical cancer. So the guest today will be telling us much about about what we need to know about breast cervical cancer, especially that's where the area of focus from their own end. And we have joining us from the Ugo's Touch of Life Foundation, the programs manager Chiege Ugu Ozo. It's a pleasure having you on stage today.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. All right, I was about tempted to addressing you as Dr. Chiege. Are you one?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
Okay. At the end of the day, you're going to let us know why the interest on issues like this coming from your own end. So talk to us now. Breast cancer. What is it all about?
Thank you for that question because that's the foundation. That's actually the background to every other thing that we're going to be talking about. Cancer, first of all, is an abnormal growth in cells. So it's when a cell goes out of normal, right, and begins to act in a certain way that it's not supposed to be, right? So it's an abnormal growth of cells, and it can happen in any part of the body. So when it happens in the breast, we call it breast cancer. When it happens in the cervix, we call it cervical cancer. When it happens in the colon, we call it colorectal cancer. In the ovary, we call it ovarian cancer. In the skin, we have different cancers, even the ones that we do not have the names for yet. So, but breast cancer is when there's that abnormal growth in the breast. It starts to spread out. Maybe it starts very small, and they call it, sometimes it can be benign when you have like a tumor, because usually when you're trying to find out if something is cancerous, tumor is usually the symptom, right? So in breast, you're asked to check for lumps. Okay. So those lumps could be benign, which means that they are not bad, in common parlance, or it could be malignant or cancerous, which means if you leave it for a period of time, it could begin to spread. And when it spreads, that's when it becomes more dangerous. As it spreads, it advances and becomes more dangerous. For every cancer, there are 4 stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. As the stages progress, the cancer becomes more advanced. And as they become more advanced, it becomes more dangerous, which means it can be life-threatening. So it's better when the cancer, it's not better that it's not good that someone has cancer anyway, but it's better caught when it's early detected in the stage 1 or stage 2. Okay. And this is for any cancer whatsoever.
Any form of cancer.
Any form of cancer. So whether it's breast cancer, cervical cancer, any form of cancer whatsoever, is best detected at the early stages. Yeah. So for breast cancer, there are ways to actually, check before it even becomes, advanced. We advocate, and this is globally accepted, self-breast examination every month.
Self-breast examination?
Yes, self-breast examination. So,
and now what does it entail so that we could carry the rest of our viewer along?
Oh, yes. It's something you can do by yourself. That's the word self, right? So this is something that we ask women to do every month, especially after their period. So, but before you do that, you should already know, how your breast looks, how your breast feels on a normal day.
Okay.
So we encourage women to regularly observe their breasts, regularly check their breasts. So to now check if there is a lump or if there are changes in your breast, which are indications or signs of breast cancer. That is not to say categorically that it is breast cancer,
Okay.
but those are signs or symptoms that could lead you to say, oh, there's something wrong. So if you know how your breast looks on a normal day and you start seeing changes, dimpling, it's changing color, your nipples are...
Because I was going to ask you what signs should the
They look
women
out
actually
for.
look out for?
Yeah, so it could be that your breast is changing, the size is changing.
Okay.
That is one indication.
Okay.
It could be change of color too. So if it's darkening or it's discoloring in one way or the other, whatever color whatsoever, that is abnormal.
Okay.
You already know the normal color. If you're dark skinned, if you're light skinned, if it starts to change from light to dark, dark to light or something, that is not normal, right? Apart from that as well is the inversion of the nipple. So your nipple going inward. For some women, on a normal day, their nipples might be a bit inverted. It may just need a bit of stimulation and it comes out. That is normal. You already know that is how your breast works. But if peradventure, you now see that maybe your nipple, even when you touch it, it still doesn't come out, then that is a problem. That's an indication.
Oh, really?
Yes. So what you do, apart from these signs, is even dimpling. Dimpling means, like, you know how your face dimples, like, you see some people like, say, oh yeah, I dimple. This person has a dimple.
I used to have it when I was a much younger person.
Yeah, some
I don't know,
people...
age has made it disappear now.
Oh, sorry. So some people smile and they have this dimple. That means like their skin goes in a bit on the side. So on the breast, if you start to see that dimpling on the skin of your breast, is a problem.
Okay.
Then again, how to now check if you have lumps is to face a mirror standing up as a woman after your period. After your period, like maybe a few days after your period has ended, you can observe yourself in front of a mirror. Mentally divide your breast into 4 quadrants.
Okay.
Right? So 4 quadrants means into 4.
What are you going to be using to do?
You're facing the mirror, so you're observing yourself with your clothes up, right? You've taken out your clothes, so you're observing yourself in front of a mirror. Now, raising your hand, you start going clockwise, this way, from this way down. So you're applying pressure on your breast, just with your fingertips, like this. So you're pressing down a little bit. What you're checking for is hardening or lumps. So, which is why we say that periodically women should know if this is abnormal. If normally your breast, there's no hardening, there's no lumps, you don't feel anything. But once you start to see that there are lumps, because they are, very tiny, maybe you call it lumps, but they are not lumps, nodules in the breast.
Which is natural.
Which is natural, right? But when you now start feeling a lump that is not natural, that is when it becomes a problem. So you take it round until you come to the tip of your breast, which is your nipple. And then you press it a bit. If it's hardened, if there's a pain, it could be an indication, right? So ordinarily, there should be no pain. But if there's a pain, then that's a problem. If also you press and there is a release of blood, that is also a problem.
Where's the blood coming from now? From the nipple?
From the nipple.
Okay.
Yes. So if there's a release of blood from the nipple, that could be a problem. So once you see any or all of those, please rush to the hospital, see a doctor and address this thing. And for people in Enugu, they can come to Medical Women Association of Nigeria office. It's located at number 29 Abakaliki Road, opposite Pentagon Supermarket. So on Saturday 8 o'clock.
Every Saturday?
No.
It's just a one-off thing?
So this is for the free breast examination.
Okay.
And cervical screening, free screening. This is happening on Saturday. We are partners. We are supporting free screening for some women.
Okay.
And but on a regular day, they can walk in there and have their breasts examined. They can also get their screening, but it will be done at a fee. I think 8,000 naira for cervical screening.
Cervical screening. What
yes.
about the breast?
Breast cancer, I think 2,000 naira or 2 or 4,000 naira. I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be more.
But on a normal ground?
Yeah, that is on a normal day.
Okay.
But for Saturday, it's free. It's completely free.
Oh.
It's completely free. I'll call a number out that they can send a message to that they want to register, and they will receive a code. The code is, a form of registration acknowledgement.
Okay.
So you come with the code, and obviously you probably be prioritized, and it also helps with the arrangement so that we know the number of people that we are expecting for the screening. So this is like a pre-registration. Yeah, so if those that are able to come, they should register ahead of time. There's a chance that those that do not register may be seen, but priority will be given to those that pre-registered.
Okay.
Yes, but it's completely free.
But then again now, is it every woman that should come for it? Or is it those who are already having the signs?
Every woman, every woman that can come should come. Every woman that can come should come. For cervical screening, we advise women that have reached the age of 25.
Oh.
Yes, but
why 25?
But if you become sexually active even at 16, 17, 18 or younger, then please come. Why? Because cervical cancer is a sexually transmitted cancer.
Because I wanted us to take it one at a time.
Yeah.
We'll be done with the breast cancer and then we'll come to the cervical.
Okay.
Okay, so now for the breast cancer, okay, assuming one has been able to maybe suspect through the signs, you said maybe size, enlargement, coloration, and the other indications which is listed earlier on. Maybe peradventure a woman discovers any of these signs. Is it just about to jet off to the hospital to see the doctor?
Yes, see your GP. Just go to the hospital first. They will direct.
Wouldn't there be anything that could be done, maybe personally?
No, don't do anything.
Don't do anything.
Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Don't even go. Don't talk to your pastor or priest. Go and see a doctor first. Then you can come back and talk to your pastor.
Okay, no problem. We'll get that one very, very clearly there.
Yeah.
All right now. So, do we have treatment centers for breast cancer in Nigeria, in Enugu?
Yes. UNTH number 1.
UNTH.
Yes. So when we talk of treatment, like I said, it's better treated early, right? We also have teaching hospitals, ESUTs as well, wherever you have oncology units, right? Oncology is the unit that handles cancers. So UNTH treats cancer, ESU Teaching Hospital, they treat cancer. So cancer can be treated through different means. There's chemotherapy, there's radiation, depending on what is seen or the level. So the doctors, after examination, they will determine several examinations, right? You'll be sent to labs, there will be scans and several tests. So depending on what they see, they can now direct on what treatment is best for the patient.
Okay.
So, but I would say as authorities, UNTH, Esu Teaching Hospital, UNTH has, even as a nation, is one of the hospitals, is one of the institutions that are recognized, that have the facilities, that have been prioritized, as well as cancer centers in the federation.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's best to go there. Of course, there are other private hospitals that have oncology units that treat, even Niger Foundation as well. These are the ones I know have oncology units that treats cancer. Okay. But once you go to any hospital, even primary health care centers, they can refer you if it's something that they cannot handle. So the first port of call should be a health facility, a health center where you can access, if it's a nurse or a doctor, let them examine you themselves beyond your own self-examination. I'm even speaking from personal experience. Okay. I've had scare at some point, you know, I felt, I felt pain. Okay. And then I went and they examined me and they felt a suspicious case. Then they also referred me to go for an ultrasound. And when I went for the ultrasound, luckily there was nothing to be seen. It was just an effect of, you know, I think hormonal changes, basically. So they said it was nothing to be scared about. And over time, there was really nothing to be scared about. The pain went away.
You know, most of the time, what really becomes a problem for people, okay, is actually the fear.
Fear, yeah.
The fear. Because just asking somebody to go to the hospital for checks, most of our people, out of fear,
yes,
wouldn't just want to ordinarily go do consultations, you know, medical checkups.
Yeah.
For instance, I seated here. I don't know if I could remember the last time I actually consulted a medical doctor and said, let me run medical checks on my system. You get the point?
Yes.
I don't know how we'll be able to overcome that part of our lifestyle. Do you think an awareness creation like this will just be enough for it to reorientate our people on the need for regular health checks?
It actually should.
Especially on the matter we're looking at today.
Yeah, I think maybe if people saw cases of people that have been diagnosed of cancer, or if they have a close call with patients that maybe died of one cancer or the other, you will take it more seriously, right? But it doesn't have to get to that point. That is the thing, because once it gets to that point, we are talking about someone dying. Right? So you do not want to get to a point of losing your loved one or hearing that someone is late due to cancer before you now take your health seriously. We should be more proactive than reactive. And because of that reactive nature that we have as Africans, as Nigerians, or even across the world, it's not just peculiar to us in Nigeria or Africa. People naturally have the fear, like if you go to a hospital, like the last place we were, somebody said there's always something that they will see. So you'd rather not go at all. But the truth is that, especially with issues with cancer, like I said, if you wish it away, maybe out of fear or it's not my portion, sadly, if it becomes your portion and you check it late, it may be too late. So, like I said, proactiveness, going in ahead of time, prevention, they say, is better than cure. So what we are preaching is go do the routine check. There's nothing there. If they see something and it's early, it can be taken out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, looking at the theme for this year's observation, we have the lengthy one. The future is pink.
Yeah.
Empowering health, hope, and early action.
Yeah.
I want us to take it one at a time. How does that speak to the issue on the table, breast cervical cancer awareness? The future is pink.
The future is pink.
Now, where's the pink coming from? That's a color.
Yes. So, like I said, October for breast cancer awareness is called globally Pink October. And I would say that it's because it's more or less attributed to the feminine gender. And when you talk of female colors, right?
Okay.
Most times pink is the color that is used to identify women. That is not
Oh.
to say that men
Oh.
do not, cannot wear pink, cannot be, cannot love pink, cannot use pink
Because
colors.
I know that my director in the studio right now,
Yeah.
don't look at him anyway. My director in the studio right now,
Yeah.
he loves putting on this pink colored cloth most of the time.
Yeah.
So he's a lover of pink color as well.
He's a lover of women.
He's a lover of women.
I would like to see it as that.
At the end of
And
the
then he should be, because he was born of a woman, I hope.
and all of that. Anyway, all right. So because the color pink is, attributed to women,
Yeah.
so we are declaring October the month of pink.
Yes.
Okay.
But then,
What about
the funny thing is that men do not know that they also can suffer from breast cancer.
men?
Yes.
Where's that coming from?
This is from verified cases. These are real cases of, that has happened. Personally, I know someone whose dad suffered from breast cancer. But then the incidence or the number of men is highly disproportionate to women. So from research that has been carried out, studies show that it's less than 1% of men. So, but that's still...
But it's a possibility.
There is a possibility. It's a possibility. Why? Some people will say, oh, do men have breasts? Of course, men have breasts. But because of the hormonal changes, differences in men and women, women's breasts are more, protruded. It's more, you can see it more than you can see most of the men. You have some men who also have a bit of, breast coming out from their chest than an average man, in quotes. Okay. So, but beyond that, risk factors of cancer, you could call it causes, but they are not cancer. Cancers do not have well-known causes yet. We just have things that could predispose you to certain cancers. Okay. So, which is one of is history, family history of cancer. So if there's a history of cancer in your family, for instance, there may be a chance, you may have a high possibility of getting cancer, whether a man or woman. Right. So if it's a man, you may have breast cancer. Ooh. So that could be a cause for you as a man. Then, of course, there are also certain lifestyle behaviors that could predispose you to cancer.
Such as?
Excessive alcohol, smoking, obesity. That's not a lifestyle, but your diet could lead
to do with the
weight, excess weight. Okay. Excess weight. So that is a risk factor that could predispose you to also breast cancer. Oh. Yeah. So these are some of the causes, and this is not only, this cannot only be seen in women. So women, you could still see some women smoking, drinking alcohol.
Quite
but you also see that with these factors I mentioned, it's more common with men, right? Smoking, excess alcohol. Right.
When you mention alcohol,
yeah,
my mind just went round. Everywhere in town now,
yeah,
you have joints where most men just go hanging out. They hang out almost every evening. No longer weekend affairs, now every evening matter. Taking down alcohol. So you're saying it's a risky venture, right? Is that it?
My colleague on a previous program said that she doesn't know if I don't know if she was talking about smoking or alcohol, but either of the two has done anybody any good, right? I'm not saying people have different reasons for drinking, but everything in moderation, right? It could not, smoking, excess alcohol, everything in excess is actually not good, even food.
Even food.
Even food.
Okay.
And then, this is not even exclusive to breast cancer. So you have lung cancer as well, which obviously is from excess tobacco intake, smoking, and some of this. It could lead to lung cancer. Then, when we are talking of alcohol, there are so many diseases, apart from cancer, that it could also predispose you to. Kidney failures, you know, even...
And these are life-threatening...
These are terminal life-threatening diseases and illnesses. So
I'm going to pause you here.
Yeah.
We want to go on a quick break, and when we return, we will be flowing further with the discussion, because we are still going to take a look at cervical cancer and then look at the way out of all of this. And because if we are talking about the future of Spain, empowering health, hope, and early action, let's see what hope we have, especially coming from this outline. Stay with us, don't go away.
Hello, I'm Debra Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chinwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obobina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world. All right there, viewer. It's a pleasure returning with you to the show. It's still the arena on Anike Television today. And just before we went on that short break, we have Chege Ugwozo of the Ugo Touch of Life Foundation talking to us about breast and cervical cancer awareness, because the month of October has been designated, set aside to observe this globally. Okay? So if you have a pre-knowledge about breast, cervical cancer before now, well, maybe you could maybe top up your knowledge on it through this program. But if you don't know before now, just know that it's a killer disease, right?
Yes.
So there's every need for you to follow us so that you could know how to detect it, you could know how to go about it, just in case you happen to be a victim. What do you do? All right, so that's it. So back to you now, Chiege. Let's look at cervical cancer. What is it all about?
Yeah.
It's still for the woman, right?
Yes.
Even though you told us breast could equally be for the man.
Yes.
So cervical now.
Cervical is strictly for women because men do not have cervix. So, which is unfortunate anyway. So, like I said, cancer of any kind is an abnormal growth. So when it happens in the cervix, we call it cervical cancer.
Okay.
And this cervical cancer can be gotten through sexual transmission. So men are the ones that introduce the virus to women. So it's contracted from men through a virus called human papilloma virus, HPV.
Okay.
And this virus could cause, there are different strains of the virus, but the one that causes cervical cancer are the strains 16 and 18. So, but this cancer, even though, is a terminal disease, is a life-threatening disease, there is also hope because it can be cured, especially when detected early. Even in the advanced stages, it could still be treated, but the chances might be, less effective. You might have less chances of treatment, but still, there are chances of being treated and treated well. But like we said, cancer is best when it's detected early because treatment is very capital intensive.
Okay.
It's highly capital intensive from one treatment to the other. Most times you have to go through, if it's radiation, chemotherapy, surgery in some cases. So these are highly capital intensive. And the health insurance does not currently cover most of these. There's been a lot of efforts by the federal government, I would say, in terms of not just reducing cancer burden, but in health financing, in cancer financing. So a few years ago, there was a launch of the Cancer Health Fund, which is a pool of funds that the federal government reserves for treatment of certain cancers. It's not for all the cancers yet, but for the cancers that we are talking about, breast cancer, cervical cancer, even prostate cancer,
The prostate now is for the man.
prostate is for men. Yes, so women do not have the problem of prostate cancer.
Prostate this time
Yeah,
around.
so but there is a funds for it, even though there's clamor for increased funding for that because it's underfunded in quotes,
Okay.
right? But at least it's there. It's some form of hope that some people can access it for certain treatments of cancer. So, and in the Federation, UNTH is one of the few institutes or facilities where you can actually enroll to have access to this fund for your treatment. So there's that, and also I just returned from an International Cancer Week, which is a cancer conference done annually in Nigeria, where there was a huge talk and advocacy for coverage by the National Health Insurance. Because like I said, it's very capital intensive.
Yes.
So many people cannot even afford screening, let alone treatment. and which is one of the reasons why people present late. Right, so we have that whole cycle of different problems why people present late, but the highest problem is funds.
Okay.
Yeah, so of course we know the incidence of poverty in Nigeria, and
Is it really a problem of poverty, or is it a problem of maybe the society not prioritizing health?
yeah, so there's that as well, but even for people that can afford, right? People that can afford may easily just walk into a health facility and say, I just want to be screened. If their symptoms, if there are diseases, if there's any illness, for instance, it may not be so difficult for them to pay for it as a common man on the streets who is still struggling to feed himself and his family, for instance. So that is a problem. So yes, society prioritizing it could be another side to it, right? So obviously government is supposed to as the key agenda, provision, protection as well, protect their citizens from this kind of from being prone to certain illnesses, especially this that is very, expensive to treat. So that is one way that they are trying to advocate for a true health insurance provisions that can cover for cancers. But I know it's going to take a while, but at least there's progress in that direction.
Are you really sure there is progress?
At least there's a conversation now, and there was a commitment by the minister who was represented there at the conference that this is something that they're going to have to look into. There were several stakeholders, the ministers from health, education, humanitarian, even the minister of state.
I'm sorry, I'm dragging you into this,
Yes.
but then the truth of the matter remains. Over time, we've criticized the government.
Yes.
Okay. For not actually for not doing well for the people, not doing much for the people, especially when we look at core critical sectors, education, health. Okay, most of the time these things are just done theoretically, academic exercise. But when it comes to implementation, it becomes a problem. For instance, why would we even need to take people overseas for certain medical issues? Why don't we have centers here to be able to attend to our people's health challenges and issues? You understand what I mean?
Yes.
So that the minister said, and isn't that just an academic exercise? Paperwork, we talk, and at the end of the day we go. But when it's time to put in action, I know there's an early action attached to the theme here, but then where is the hope?
Yeah. So,
where is the hope?
Yeah. So I share your sentiments about distrust in government, and for obvious reasons we have that mistrust or lack of trust in most of these policy announcements, commitments, and which is also where we as citizens should start holding government accountable. You said you're going to do this, so put some kind of pressure. The thing I see sometimes is that, of course, we've seen different campaigns on social media, outcries on social media, and how government tries to retrace or retract or, starts putting effort in different directions. So I feel like sometimes even us as citizens, we don't, demand as much as we should. Our policymakers, those that are representing us, what exactly are we demanding from them, right? Do they know that they are accountable to us? The health facilities that are within your jurisdiction as a lawmaker, in quotes, your citizens there, those that fall within your constituency, are they demanding? Do you know you have a responsibility to them? You as citizens, you should be able to demand that from your lawmaker, from your local government chairman, those that are close to you. They will now cascade it upwards, right? But most times, I think we look to the federal more than we look to those in the local.
That's right.
And in the subnational. So, and there is very little they can do from the federal more than what those within can do. Right. So I would say that we have a responsibility. Government also has a responsibility. We should speak more about issues that affect us. Right? Not just complaining, just ranting and nobody's hearing you. Rant to the right direction. Pull efforts together and let these people know that these are important to you. Do your research. These are, take pictures, evidences of your health center, things are not going well. People, present your cases. And I think that when that is done collectively, they will begin to pay attention. They will begin to pay attention. So why I said that there is hope, right, is that at least if there was no policy before, if there was no announcement, if there was no commitment, I mean, it's bleak. Nobody's talking about it. So you don't even know if there's a progress. So, but if there's one step made in saying that this is a problem and there's somebody saying that we are going to do A, B, C, D, that is progress. Then what's next? We begin to follow up on those announcements, on those, there's a committee they said they've set up. Okay, when are those committee people meeting? What actions are they taking? We follow up. But most times we don't focus on important things sometimes in the country. So there's also hope, right? Us, we preach hope, even though that cancer is a deadly disease.
Very deadly.
Right? But early detection saves lives. I mean, it's something that we see all the time when we have, cancer campaigns, but it's not just cliche, it's actual facts. If it's detected early, there is hope for you. Cancer is not a death sentence.
It's not.
It's not a death sentence. Many of these cancers can be treated. But before we get to the curative part, let's do our side and try to prevent it. So there's hope.
There is hope.
Yeah.
Well, there is hope you heard from her. I hope that hope is actually sustaining. I hope the hope is sustaining. But then we need to empower ourselves as a people so that we could stay alive. Because after all of these things and we are not alive, I mean, to what end? Should be the question. To what end? So it's all about staying alive. So please take early action. You've heard from her what you need to do to actually know yourself, check yourself from time to time, know when there are changes. She's giving you the signs. If you detect any of those signs, please kindly seek for medical attention. And you've heard also, it's very, very capital intensive. The treatment, right?
Yes.
Treatment of cancer.
Yes.
Very capital intensive.
Very.
Yes, we have fired it at the government side. Not much comes from that end, not much for the people. But then we have organizations, you have the Will Touch of Life Foundation, a whole lot of others in collaboration with even international bodies.
Yes.
WHO has been doing its own wonderful work, except for now
Exactly.
that we begin to see Donald Trump saying they are pulling away U.S. resources, funding and all of that. So we don't know how the non-governmental side have been faring. Okay, especially in awareness creation, even helping people, the poor ones, to access, healthcare and medical care. So you could talk to us about it.
Okay,
What have been the challenges, the experiences?
Yeah, so, there's little or there are limited efforts, or capacity of private organizations, of non-governmental organizations. I mean, they can only do so much based on the resources that they have, right? Which is where a lot of collaboration now comes in. You see WHO. So when the HPV vaccine was being introduced, when it was launched into the National Immunization Program,
HPV vaccine, what does that do now? Does it have anything to do with cancer?
Cervical cancer. The HPV vaccine is to prevent you from getting cervical cancer. Yes, so it's given to young girls. It's given, everybody can actually take the HPV vaccine, girls, but it's best taken when the person is not sexually exposed or sexually active, which why the government prioritized girls between the ages of 9 to 14, because it's assumed, not just assumed, from surveys, from data, that most girls within those ages have not been sexually exposed. You could have exemptions here and there though. So, and the effectiveness of the vaccine is higher when the person is not sexually exposed. So you could still take the vaccine if you've been sexually active, but it's also encouraged that you do screenings as well. You do your cervical screenings to be sure. So it gives you like a two-factor authentication, if you, that sort of a thing. Yeah. So private or NGOs like ours have been doing our best.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been doing our best.
So give yourself a pass mark.
Well, the people that have seen us work, some people that have benefited from some of our programs may give us, their own assessments as well. But to a degree, we've been trying. And to a high degree, really, we've been trying. So this is our 10th year in operation. Since 2015. We've been working in Enugu and even beyond. We've extended our programs beyond Enugu. But Enugu has seen us, all the local governments has had one or two or more presence, and we've done a lot of these screenings in different communities, and we still do. So, but what we try to do, especially like we are now, is to preach this early detection, right? Even for researchers, for practitioners, they will tell you that the key is awareness. And we still see that most people, a high population of people, still lack that awareness. Recently, we used the August Return Forum to go to communities to meet
Which
women.
Which happens usually in the month of August.
Yes, in the month of August. And that was also the month of our anniversary, 10th year anniversary. So it was a coincidence, more or less, but it was a good opportunity for us to now go to different rural communities to talk to these women about this cancer. And from our analysis there, from our assessments, really, almost 70% or more, depending on the community we went to, had not heard of cervical cancer. They've not heard.
So the awareness level is very low.
It's still very low. So we still encourage more organizations. We encourage individuals that are hearing this. This is not just a message for one person. So it's a message that should be as publicized as possible. People use their platforms, wherever it is, to spread this message of early detection. And where these services are, provided free of charge, they should take advantage of it, like what we are doing on Saturday, free breast and cervical screening. People should come around and take advantage of it. If you can sponsor people to come, please do. If you can sponsor us, because free, that means someone is paying for it. Any service that you see that is free, there's someone that is taking care of it. So how can you support that? You can also reach out to us if you want us to come to your community, and we partner with you to do that, right? So as much as possible, try to make it accessible. If you also know organizations that are into this sort of a thing, maybe abroad, you could find ways of linking them to us in the low and middle income countries. For now, Nigeria, bring it to your place. Akurono, like they say. Akurono. Yeah.
I like that. I like the use of the word.
Yeah. So if you, it's not just about wealth. Health is actually wealth. So you can not go about business ventures if you're not healthy. You cannot look for money or do any kind of work if you're not healthy. So health first. Yeah.
Okay. The signals are coming. My director all the time, he keeps giving the signs. But then I wouldn't let you off. You were giving us, you said on Saturday, you will be holding a free services for the people.
Yeah.
And everyone is expected to avail him or herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the number you were trying to.
Yes, for
give them?
for registration, people can text.
Must we register?
It's advised to register.
Okay.
So that it helps in organization. It helps in organization, and also we know the number of people that we are expecting, the materials that we are supposed to provide for the screening. So yes, they can text the number 0806 51 00106. I should repeat that.
Maybe.
0806 51 00106. So once they text that, they'll receive a code. That code, they should come with the code. So that code obviously qualifies you for the screening.
For you to be able to access it.
Yes.
Just texting.
Yes, just texting.
All right, Chiege, I don't know the much you're doing for the society. Well, this is our own contribution as media also to, give more voice, okay, to the awareness creation around these issues and matters. And I wouldn't know if you are into any partnership with maybe the government.
No, currently
Any
we
other
are.
association?
Yes.
Which one?
So Medical Women Association, we're partnering with them.
Okay.
We also we are open to different partnerships, even with the governments, individuals, private organizations. We are open once the terms, serve the same goal and we have an understanding very well, we welcome partnerships. So for this screening, we are partnering with Medical Women Association of Nigeria. Also, this program is also supported by First Ladies Against Cancer. It's a coalition of different First Ladies, past and present, that work in the cancer space. So they are supporting this program as well. So like I said, for different programs that we do, but we are focusing on cancer, different programs that we do, we open up lines of partnership and collaboration.
And maybe, just maybe, we'll see how we from here,
yes,
this is Aneke TV,
yeah,
could as well, beyond giving you the platform to come create this awareness, we'll see how much partnership we can go with you, especially in lending you more voice, so that the society could be rid of these uglies, so to say.
yes.
It's time to go. Maybe your final words for the viewer watching us. I don't know about stigma. Is there stigmatization attached to this one? Maybe for the victims of cancer?
Well, there is stigma, which is also a fear that people have in terms of when people always look at those that they remove the lumps in their breast. Some also remove the tissues in their breast so that it doesn't spread out. There's no reoccurrence of, cancer. So most times it's the advice, even through surgery. So you now see, people now feel like, the society is going to criticize you don't have breast anymore as a woman or things like that. But like I said, you have to save your life first, right? Don't because of what society is going to say, stigma or any of those, now subject yourself to condemnation that could lead to loss of your life. So we also encourage people to support people that are victims, survivors of cancer. These are warriors. And the truth is that it could happen to anyone. It could happen to anyone whatsoever. So as a human being, you have 50-50 chance of actually getting cancer, really, if you do not take your life. I mean, you could even do so many things and still suffer from cancer. So everyone is expected to, do routine checks, early detection. Once you detect it early, then there are higher chances of your survival.
Okay, certainly a good place to wrap it up right now. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, Chiege, who was the programs manager of Ugo's Touch of Life Foundation. Thanks for coming to talk to us on this very important societal matter.
Thanks for having me.
And we wish you well. We hope you succeed through. Society will applaud you for that. And God will also bless you for doing that. So, dear viewer, this is the much we'll take on the show today. It's all about breast and cervical cancer awareness. So why not check yourself up, and then go for medical, attention. Stay alive. That's the message for you today. Stay alive. You could also use the opportunity they are providing. This thing is very, very capital intensive, but now they are bringing it to your doorstep. Utilize this opportunity and get yourself well checked. Until then, stay alive. My name is Chris, and Omugwo signing out.